paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
Now, I've made video after video of Vonhelton stealing Valor. And not only have I charged him with stealing Valor, but I have proven my charge. He claims that I did 6 years and only made it E2, but has no proof of that. I proved him wrong on that one. But will I ever hear an apology from that? No. No, I don't expect that to ever happen. Not in this lifetime. Not in this reality of the Mandela effect anyway. But what Von Helton also claims to be that he was once an EMT. Now, this is outrageous as well, because Just Darren was an EMT and can prove he was an EMT. Von Helton can't prove any of his claims. He did so many things in his lifetime that nobody could live a lifetime that long to do all the things he claimed he has done. He claimed he was a secret agent for the government, and at the same time, he did multiple other things. He was in the music industry, and he was an orderly and all this stuff. I do believe he's an orderly. That's one thing I do believe he isn't lying about. Who would lie about that? His mom did own some nursing homes, and he worked in them because he's one of those. You ever worked in a place and the owner's son or owner's daughter works there? You know how that is. They don't really do much, but because they're the owner's son, they're not going to get fired or something. So, but he was never an EMT, and I'm going to prove it.
I have no medical background, really. I was an orderly for 14 years. My mother was an administrator of nursing homes, and my sister took RN training. Not to mention the fact that I also worked as an EMT for a while, and I did other things as well. Okay, so please shut your fucking mouth. You don't know me. You don't know what I've done in my life.
So what does your sister being an RN have anything to do with you? A sister that wouldn't have anything to do with you, period. You weren't even invited to her funeral. I mean, that's pretty sad, dude. And then claim that you have medical knowledge because your sister was an RN. That's ridiculous.
My mother, in the district attorney's office, informed him that I was lazy, that I wouldn't work.
Your mother, the owner of the place that you were an orderly for 14 years, says that you were lazy and you wouldn't work. I mean, that speaks volumes. So what medical knowledge do you have and experience do you have? A job where they say that you were lazy and you didn't work at? I mean,
I have no medical background, really. I was an orderly for 14 years. My mother was an administrator of nursing homes.
And you also claim you were an EMT. I know, because I've been an EMT, I know that you're not capable of doing that kind of work. Not because you're not smart enough or anything like that. It's just because you're lazy. It's not a job a lazy person can do. It just isn't. It's a lot of hard work. I was an EMT, and I'll prove it in this video.
Not to mention the fact that I also worked as an EMT for a while.
Oh, no, you didn't. However, have a real background in the medical field. I didn't work as an orderly in some nursing home. I actually worked in the medical field while in the military. My entire Navy career, I was a medic. So I have a medical career in my background, and I'm not lying about it, and I can prove it. Here's just some of the medical training I had while I was in the Navy. I went to basic hospital school, and I went to field medical school. So in the Navy, these are like 8-9 hour days where you just study nothing but medical stuff and learning everything you can to make you successful at your job. This is the school I went to. Two of the schools I went to, a basic hospital and field medical school. Here is proof that I was an emergency medical technician, EMT. That's what EMT stands for, emergency medical technician. I did go through the training to become an EMT. I took the driving classes, driving an ambulance. I learned all kinds of medical, even increased my medical knowledge by going to the school. So at a naval hospital, the top corpsman will either work in the ER or the ICU unit. I worked in the emergency room while I was at the naval base for the second half of my my tour at Great Lakes Navy Base, the Naval Hospital. So I'm not lying when I say I'm an EMT, and I can prove it. Working as an EMT is not an easy job. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's not for someone who's lazy. You have to work, and it's very high stressed, and people compare it to a combat situation sometimes. When the emergency room gets full, it can be high stress, and you're dealing with people who got mangled in car accidents, people with spinal injuries, victims of child abuse or spousal abuse, and all sorts of horrible things you see all the time in the emergency room or working in the EMT field. And so I do take offense when someone claims they were an EMT when they're not, just to try to glorify themselves. This isn't something I usually brag about, because this was not anything to brag about. I saved a lot of people's lives, but it's not fun. It's not, sometimes um, you wish you didn't have nothing to do when you're working in this field, because when you have to do your job, you see the worst things in society. Um, for somebody to claim that they were an EMT when they're not is just downright offensive to me. I'm proud of my accomplishments in the Navy, the things that I did. I wasn't a screw up in the Navy. I got selected to work in the emergency room. A colonel personally selected me. One day I was working on the ward, and a colonel said, we would like you to work either in the ICU or the emergency room. You seem to know what your job, you're motivated. And so there I went to EMT school and finished the second half of my tour at Great Lakes Naval Hospital as an EMT in the emergency room. And, and then I went on with the Marines, and I carried a Marine who broke his leg down Mount Fuji. He broke his, I can't remember his radius or his ulna. No, tibia and fibia, radius and ulnas in the arm. He broke his tibia. I don't know remember which one, but I carried him all the way down. The guy with a broken leg, because he was surfing on lava rock. I thought it was cool, and went off a little cliff, and you know, just when people steal valor, it takes away from what I've done, and it's extremely insulting to me, and it's why I'm so passionate against valor thieves like Charles Hall and Mr. Vonhelton and Agent 19 and other valor thieves out here on YouTube that brag about their military careers, and it you know, and then want to lie about my military career and say I was only E2 after 6 years, which I've proven them wrong. But, um, you know, I did the things, and I'm proud of the fact that that I was successful in the Navy. Got I was an E3, and I had dyslexia, and it made it difficult for me to go up in rank. But I did make it through the medical school, even having dyslexia. I learned how to memorize what was taught in the lectures, and learned how to find out the information I needed to know to pass the test, and learned how to do my job. And I did my job, because when you gold brick in the medical field, oops, lights went out. When you gold brick in the medical field, people can have permanent damage. And I've seen that happen too, from corpsmen who didn't do their jobs. So, those valor thieves don't deserve anything. Personally, I'm tired of making stolen valor videos about you, but I made a promise that every time you steal valor, I was going to not let you get away with it. I've proven irrefutable proof that you are a valor thief. Now, all I ask for you is to make an apology video and apologize for being a valor thief. You served in the Army, you're an Army veteran, but you washed out after you got to your permanent duty station. That's a fact, Vonhelton. But all you have to do is just make an apology video, and I'll take all my videos about you down, both on VidMe and on YouTube. And that's a deal. I'm asking you to take the deal, be a man once for your life, admit you're wrong, and I'll take all your videos down. I promise.